Hey, so I already filmed this video, but I got deleted it by accident, so here I am again. Not that it's again to you, but yeah. So this is my April TBR. Well, TBR, as lately it's been more tentative than before, but yeah. I have some thoughts for April, so some of these I want to do. So, for example, the first day of April is April Fool's Day. 1st April, April Fools. So I want to read some funny books in April. Though a lot of the books I read are funny, but I want to read books that I'm pretty sure will be very funny. But yeah. So because of that, I'm gonna read. Give me a moment. I have the books here. I'm gonna read. Look, Timeless and Changeless. Sorry, Heartless and Timeless. The fourth and fifth book in the Personal Protectorate. I started rereading this last year and stopped because. So yeah, I'm gonna read this. This will also work for another thing that I want to do in April. I'm not gonna say it at the moment. Other than that, I thought I had other books planned that were funny. There are other books on my TBR. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna move on and go to other stuff that I'm also gonna read. And yeah, these are books that I haven't read before. None of these are rereads except those two. So I don't know if they're correct, funny, but yeah. Anyway, and then also I want to read The Reckless Afterlife of Harriet Stoker. It's by Lauren James. Lauren James is a British author, and I have actually a few English authors that I haven't read that I want to read. And since England has their National Day in April, I thought, well, let's read some English authors. So I'm gonna do this one. And then, I don't know about that one. And now this one also kind of works with that because it's set in England and the characters lots of characters are English. So that's. And then also it's National Library Week in the US. Not here, but in US. So yeah, I'm gonna use it. And it's also International Book Day in April, though I think for some reason the Brits celebrate in March, which is kind of a weird thing. But like for me, it's kind of always been a day in April. So because of that, I'm gonna read books based around books or like booky books. So we have The Library of the Unwritten by A.J. Fikry, a fantasy with a library in hell, more or less. And then we have. What? Kind of a Big Deal by Shannon Hale, a book about a protagonist who ends up being dragged into a book that she is currently reading, so kind of incarty. So that sounds very cool. I had other books, but blanking at the moment who they are, which one they were exactly, but I have other choices. So yeah, that's kind of like the themes. I'm doing it funny. I'm doing books by English authors, books around books. And then also there's also Autistic Awareness Month in April. So I'm gonna try to read Failure to Communicate by Kaya Sunderby. This is an American author who moved to Denmark. That's why she has a weird last name. And yeah, the protagonist has autism, as well as the author in this one, so its own voices. Heard very good things about it. And then we also have a moment. Oh, come on, there. Yeah, I have no system. And then we have Odd Girl Out by Laura James, which is a non-fiction about autism and females. It's not a big book, but yeah, so it sounds very interesting and good. And then there's also a book called Lord Ashley, something around that. It's a historical romance with the protagonist having autism, and that sounds very cool. So, and that's an audiobook I'm going to try to get to. And yeah, that's more or less it. Like the concrete books and like kind of like themes I'm doing. But I also kind of want to use. I also discovered Eurovision Readathon, not Eurovision, but Eurovision Readathon, which like where the point is to read one book for like every country, or like you can't just do 5 countries, but like yeah. So like, and then it's also quite. It's not that kind of. It's more like freer, so you don't have to read a book from the country. You can read a book by English author when I visit that country for a weekend. It doesn't really have to be set completely in that country. So it's kind of like free and not that strict, which is kind of nice. And yeah, I'm gonna do that as well. I will have a different TBR for that one coming up. And yeah, bye.